So, again, these are collective readings. Not going to resonate with everybody. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so we've got toxic family who is into black magic and it's stealing, battling, gang, yeah, sneaky, couple lovers, 8 of swords, work in a prison. They work in a prison. They use black magic. They work in a prison. So they're ganging on up to steal someone else's business, someone else's stardom. So hexing and cursing a star. Hexing and cursing a star. They work in a police force as well. In the justice system, we've got justice. And they're doing a lot of underhanded behaviour. What they've done is heartbreaking. They are 5 of wands, all mentally unstable. They do mental magic. They battle and compete. Ace of swords. They battle and compete. Well, it's a gang. They're all under judgment, okay? All under judgment. We've got Hierophant in reverse. Yes, Hierophant in reverse. So 6 of cups, linking to past. So basically, you could have grown up in a hometown where families just being all corrupt, and then the local police force is just as corrupt as the family members. So basically, these family members, corrupt family members, have linked up to a local police force who's just as evil and corrupt, who's all started battling and competing. 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in reverse, and 8 of Pentacles, and 6 of Wands in reverse. Literally all teamed on up with the Queen of Swords, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, a lot of underhanded behaviour to try and take someone else's gift. We've got Death card, trying to bring death. Page of Cups in reverse, dangerous, you see. Dangerous, 5 of Cups, danger, danger of loss. Danger of loss, 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, ruthless is what they are. Ruthless. Hunting, wishing ill will. The Sun card, yeah. High Priestess, they're under judgment. Hangman, sacrificing. Lack, loss of youthfulness, loss of adventure is what there's wanting. Yeah. Yeah. Someone's committed. King of Wands in reverse. Could be a Leo or a Sagittarius. Someone's committed to some sort of demon dick. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And then bank fraud, taking some sort of information, manipulating, an opportunity, going to a Taurus, going to a bank. King of Swords in reverse. Maybe an ex or a lover. Or King of Swords in reverse. And a King of Cups. So an air sign masculine. And a King of Cups who's not in no love relationship. There's no love there. It's simply business. It's simply business. So toxic family who have used children and manipulated the children to be just as toxic as them. They know the local police force is just as toxic. So basically the local police force is just helping them. 3 of Swords and then 10 of Pentacles. Break hearts, lie about it. Yeah, lie. 2 of Wands, cowards. 3 of Swords, lie about it. King of Wands and then the Sun card. 5 of Swords, enemy loss. Ace of Wands, loss of passion. Ace of Cups in reverse, loss of love is what there's wanted. Loss of a love, loss of a heart, nothing but bad messages. 4 of Swords, to have someone in separation, to have someone depressed. All through persistent robbery, theft, and trying to manipulate these children to be just as putrid as them and just as evil as them. So basically, because of jealousy, because of spite, because of greed, they turned the children putrid and got children involved in some major crimes. They want to put an end into healing as well, because they're constantly spying. Page of Swords, constantly spying, hunting, wishing ill will. 2 of Wands, cowards. Then they're spreading bad messages. Fools, youths, 3 of Cups, and friends. So they're even using children to lie and spread bad messages, because you know what kids are like. They're easily manipulated by the putrid, toxic adults. And, well, the kid's head is gone at a young age because of the adults. Who's wanting them to do? Ace of Pentacles, steal. Could be an Aquarius, 3 of Swords. Who's wanting them to steal? Nightmare, 2 of Wands, Cowards, 4 of Pentacles. So they're in possession. And they wanted the karmic wheel to turn in their favour. So basically they're trying to gain power and control over someone else's good fortune, over someone else's actual destiny, and take force, like forcing the universe to work in their favour. They have someone else's good destiny, and then they celebrate having someone else's destiny. They celebrate spying. They celebrate taking some sort of messages, or they celebrate spreading bad news. Yeah, smearing, slandering, and to get the children involved as well. Gossip. Go on, kids. Start spreading a load of lies and just be just as toxic as the adults. And the kids are like, oh, go on then, mummy. Go on then, daddy. I want to be just as toxic as you. And they're using black magic as well. Manipulating. Unrequited love for enemies. So they just want to shatter and exhaust someone. Justice, Libra. King of Cups in reverse. Full card. Taking a leap of faith towards. So this King of Swords in reverse could be a Libra. With the Lovers in reverse. 4 of Cups. Who's got lack of remorse. Lack of remorse. They just do not like that justice. They don't like balance. They don't like peace. They don't like harmony. They celebrate manipulation. They celebrate gossip. They celebrate people who lie. They celebrate putridness. Family, all under judgment. They've been caught sneaking. Ace of Pentacles, and looking to see, they've been caught giving money and stuff like this to each other. They've been caught passing money around. They've been caught passing money to the children as well, and getting the children to lie. They've been getting children to poison people. Go on, if you poison this person, manipulate, put something in the drink, you poison this person. Family, under judgment, 7 of Swords in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, don't, keep a lookout. Make sure, spy, watch, when they're not looking at that drink, go on in. Could even, there's poisoning drinks. There's poisoning food. Could be poisoning weed. Could be poisoning weed. They could be poisoning weed. They could be giving children to poison weed. Paying for it. They could be getting children to poison like tobacco. They could be using children to poison weed, poison tobacco, poison drinks and stuff like that. And the kids start celebrating it and having a nice drink and a piss up. So turning children putrid at a young age. So basically the children have got a lot of bad karmic debt. The children have a lot of bad karmic debt already. already at such a young age, and because of what they've done, if they don't pay off that bad karma, what they've done, their children is going to have to pay off that bad karma, yeah? And then their children is going to pay off that bad karma, and then their children's children. But obviously the adults don't really care about that. As long as the adults can get their own way, they're totally fine with that. And they're totally fine with the children working on their behalf to do some really evil acts, which is poisoning, and then spreading malicious rumours and lies. You know what it's like, kiddies and stuff like that. They can go to school, they can blast that stuff around school, and it spreads around the full school within 5 minutes, and then blast that around school again. It spreads around the school like wildfire. And then obviously they'll go home from school, they'll tell the parents, 11:11, parents will spread it to the neighbours and stuff like that, you know, and blast it around. And well, before you know it, everyone's just listening to some toxic family members who are all about stealing someone's money, someone else's abundance. 4 of Swords, 3 of Cups, third party, friends, celebrating. We've got Death card. Someone took some sort of gifts. That could be drugs, that could be alcohol, that could be money, it could be clothes, it could be jewellery, some sort of gifts. Giving the children gifts. The Tower to bring chaos. Go on. You know, go on, start causing chaos, start causing drama, start causing stress, start being real toxic, and we'll give you some gifts and stuff like that. Proper grooming, proper manipulating. So basically, they've just ruined the children's heads, they've just ruined the children's full life, and now the children have a lot of bad karmic debt to pay off. A lot of bad karmic debt. And they're dangerous. They're extremely dangerous. They don't feel guilty. We've got an Aries, or it does not have to be an Aries, but we've got a distorted masculine, Emperor in reverse, Hanged Man, and then we've got King of Wands in reverse. There go Hermit, right? There could have been a King of Wands who wanted to play undercover police officer and do a false investigation. So linking to family, this is where this police is coming in. So we've got a corrupt person who works in a corrupt government organisation who's wrongfully put someone under investigation and had someone poisoned, harassed, all that type of shit. 7 of Swords in reverse and the Sun card. Then we've got a Queen of Cups in reverse. Then we've got the Lovers. So it wasn't love, it was lack of love. But they wanted to build up a strong team with a Strength card. 8 of Wands in reverse. To spread bad news of family, community. Yeah. Trying to gain power and control. And literally trying to take someone else's financial stability. Look, we'll all just team together, you know. And what we'll do, 9 of Wands, we'll play games. Yeah. We'll take that financial stability, that independence for ourselves, and then we'll take control of that. What do you think, Queen of Cups in reverse, which is a Cancer? Yeah, was passionate for that with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups in reverse, unrequited love for that person anyways. So they was willing to 9 of Cups, shatter and exhaust, hunting, wishing ill will with the King of Swords in reverse. Shatter and exhaust, hunting, wishing ill will. The full card, 4 of Swords, and the 3 of Cups and celebrate. Then we've got the Death card in reverse. Any opportunity? Come on. Yeah. 2 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Switch up, you know. We'll take some sort of knowledge or wisdom, pictures of somebody else or something. Taurus, Empress in reverse. Yeah. Queen of Swords in reverse. And switching from account to account to account to account to account. You know, switching from account to account to account to account to account. Lie. Start a drama. Lie. Switch from account to account to account to account to account. Lie. Toxic. And celebrating. Just like to that point where Four of Swords, you just want to be like on your own. In separation. In separation. Could be friends involved in this group. Or if not, the children's friends, where they're all being best of friends of each other. You know, the adults are like, go on, just be toxic. Just be toxic just like us. Go on, be toxic. So they're unhealed. They've got no love. And they want to take someone else's gifts, Eight of Swords, and put someone in prison, Four of Pentacles, so they can keep hold of what's not actually theirs. Could be a Libra, who's a coward, Two of Wands. Wants to take someone else's hard work, perseverance, Three of Swords, bring that heartbreak, Five of Cups, sadness, loss, Nine of Wands, that's it. I love it. He's paranoid, or she is. Paranoid. Playing nothing but stupid games and getting the children involved in playing stupid games, which is literally, going to ruin the children's mental health for life. Playing stupid. Could be an absent father, dysfunctional. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. It's all about the money, you see. All about the money. Three of Wands. Oh, you just can't make it up. Oh, I'm just sick of it. I really am. So we've got the Emperor in reverse. So we've got this toxic masculine who could be, you know, with a lot of partners. Four of Swords, laying down with a lot of partners. So we've got this toxic masculine who's laying down with a lot of different partners. Drinking with a lot of people. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Wands, wants to expand. Ace of Swords, lying. Because someone walked away. And wanted to be happy. Because someone wanted to walk away and be happy. Ace of Cups in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. They wanted to take what they loved. Take their gifts. That could be physical gifts, spiritual gifts, any type of gift. Eight of Swords, and put that person in prison. Four of Swords. Four of Pentacles in reverse and Six of Cups. Could have even took the kids and then used the kids. Could have took the kids and then used this children as a weapon, which is like my putrid children's father, because he's putrid as fuck, the fuck on fuggot. You know, a Royal Crown Court's just sticking their fucking tongue up his big fat arsehole and giving illegal protection for stealing my work. Yeah, Royal Crown fucking Court, your souls are being bought, along with Pepperell solicitors and all that. Putrid is what they are. Absolutely putrid. Weird witchery, toxic, cult. So basically, stolen home. All about the money. Stolen some money. So we've got coffee, right? So could have even been doing black magic on coffee. I mean, I don't know how that's going to do that, but well, there could be cursing a full coffee jar, or using his children to put something in the coffee. Is this person having a coffee, are they? Right, well, what was going to do is we're going to put some black magic in this coffee, or was going to put some poisonous in the coffee and put that in the coffee, so that person drinks that coffee and then they end up dying. So we've got a lot of poisoning, and they've been using children to poison somebody. They've got hits out on you, toxic, because they're just toxic. Honestly, I don't know what it is with me where I have to do all these toxic readings, what are going to piss me off. So I've got age 5 to 10, bananas. No, age 10 to 15, bananas. So basically, they're using children aged 10 to 15 to start committing some major crimes of poisoning, robbery, and theft. Poisoning, robbery, and theft. Because that's what they're doing, you see. They're recruiting children, yeah, and literally I was getting that this family, or this emperor in reverse, this dysfunctional absent father wants to have his own cult going. And I don't know why, like the same with what I said in one of my other readings before my other YouTube channel got taken down, because I didn't like that I was speaking the truth and outing people, and they don't like how on point I am, and they don't like it when I get mad either, and they don't like it when I speak peaceful and light, and they don't like it when I get mad either. It's like, oh, we just want to control you at any angle, you know. So it's someone who's watched Joe Carroll, right, which is the following, and it's a good film, but it's a good series type of thing. I watched it with my children's father, and I actually said, can you imagine what it must be like for him, an absolute psychopath, brainwashing a load of people to work for him and do all these things for him, yeah? So it's just kind of like my ex, yeah, where he brainwashes people, brainwashes them to fuck, and I mean brainwashes them, all the tools, with a load of lies, and I mean some severe brainwashing, because they're a narcissist, all right? They've got no compassion, no empathy, no remorse, yeah? They do a lot of manipulation, word witchery, yeah? Word witchery, an extreme level of word witchery. And obviously, if they're joining some sort of cult, they're all just as brainwashed and nutty barbar as each other, right? So we've got a set of nutty barbars following another nutty barbar, and they just recruit a lot of nutty barbars, and they're like, right, we're nutty barbars. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the children turn out nutty barbars like us, and traumatise, like scar the children, rather than trying to give them that life of safety and that life of happiness. They want to give the children the life of manipulation, the life of being around toxicity, yeah, the life of being around people who use a lot of black magic, yeah, to get their own way. And they make out like it's cool to the children. Or go la, spread a lot of these lies, do all these evil things for me, and I'll give you some gifts, which will be, you know. Jesus Christ Almighty. So now the children, because of what the family members have done, are going to literally grow up with post-traumatic stress. Quite possibly suicidal tendencies, because they'll probably get the children to do some evil things, and then sooner or later, these children are going to be traumatized from that. Yeah. The children are going to be traumatized. The children, what they'll start trying to do is recruit all other children to act the same as them. Yeah. To act the same as them. to be just as toxic, just as toxic. How many cults are there in the UK? Wow, right. So basically, in America, there's 6 to 10 million people who've been involved with cults. Cults harm their members and injure family relationships. Yeah, so that's in America. There's 6 to 10 million people. That this was in 1993. So in America, there was 6 to 10 million people who was involved in cults. Yeah, they harm their members obviously they'll do loads of black magic type madman type of stuff, right? And then basically injure family members, injure relationships by doing like poisoning type of stuff. 6 to 10 million people have recently been involved in cults, man. That's in the USA. 3,000 to 5,000 groups. Because there's no need for this. And then hidden epidemic of abusive cults in the UK. So basically, they will literally join together. They'll all start grouping up against one person or something like that. Because I've had apparently some of the most strongest, powerful cults and covens coming up against me. Not just cults, but covens. Some of the most strongest, powerful cults and covens coming up. They perform satanic rituals. They do a lot of black magic. They manipulate the children. They get the children to start doing some evil acts. They get the children to start working on their behalf because they have these so-called occult leaders, yeah, and they just groom them. They just groom them. Oh, go on, you do that, and we'll give you these gifts. And then what we'll do is we'll celebrate you. And then basically they'll give them gifts. That could be anything. It could be anything. It could be clothes. It could be sweets. It could be a new mobile phone. It could be a new mobile phone. It could be a ring. It could be a bag. It could be a pair of trainers. It could be a new jacket. That type of stuff where kids are like, oh, my mum or dad, like, they've not got that much money or something like that. So I want this new computer game, what comes out. So then what they'll do is these cults will start recruiting and looking for people who are vulnerable. Who's more vulnerable to manipulation? It's obviously children. Children are more vulnerable to manipulation. They're more vulnerable to having um, just manipulation. I don't know if it's not just. I mean, well, anyone's vulnerable to black magic. Yeah, anyone is vulnerable to anyone doing black magic. We all are going to be, because it's energy and it's energy manipulation, and that's what they working manipulating energy. Then they work to manipulate the children, and the ones at the top who want to view themselves at this top, but to be honest, they've got no spiritual rankings. All they do is to manipulate this children's lives. Now, there's one thing speaking this truth to the children, like, don't go near him or over there because, you know, they're in this cult, they're in this coven where they do evil things, animal sacrifice, human sacrifice, yeah, for some sort of materialistic gains and brownie points, and then they'll get celebrations by the family where they'll give them a cake or something like that. So it's obviously linking to a family members, and then they'll just start recruiting and using these children. I'm just getting like there's some sort of like animal sacrifices. Then obviously the children, at some point, yeah. Wow. They're just, some of them can be about manipulating them into a sex cult like that NXIVM, and it exists in the UK like that. Sex cults like NXIVM exist in the UK, which is like obviously with the adults, but then they will use children and recruit the children. Jesus Christ. And it's soaring, apparently, according to the Daily Mail. Campaigners issue a warning and demand change in law to protect, yeah? The number of cults in the UK is estimated to have soared from 500 to as many as 2,000 since the 1990s, right? And they make out like the ones who are speaking this truth and who's trying to get out and leave that type of family dynamic and get away from them type of family members or exes who are like that, because they will perform black magic. And then what they will do is manipulate anyone's energy. Like in my other channel, every time I'd be going live, there'd be some crank at the other end of my lives constantly manipulating energy. Yeah. So they need some sort of a doorway or a gateway to your energy, which is usually either if they cannot get in front of you physically inside of your home, they need to. This is how this feeling, or this is how they do. They will do this via a mobile phone. Now that can be TikTok, that can be Facebook, any form of social media. But again, it could be linking to other family members who've joined into some sort of a satanic cult or a coven, and they do these satanic rituals. They do satanic rituals. They make some sorts of sacrifices and stuff like that to their false god to please or appease their false god to try and get something. But basically, they're wanting to do it for fame. But it's not actual fame. It's infamous. It's infamous. It's really bad and it's damaging. It's damaging. It can damage her. Cultic abuse in the UK and it has to stop. It's like child sexual abuse, right? So I, like, is in foster care, had all this sex shit done on me, right? And then, you build up your strength and you try and grow stronger, and then you try and leave and you get out of that and you try and do your own healing. You try and obviously have your own life. And the more you try and leave and move, because they're all operating, they'll operate in the police, they operate in the council, they operate in like obviously local authorities, which is the judges, lawyers, solicitors type of thing. They'll start operating in these areas, yeah. So the more you try and move, yeah, one of the cult members will be like, yeah, where's this so-and-so who did a runner years ago and escaped us? Here he is, here they are, boom. And gang stalking will start, and they'll continue these satanic rituals and doing black magic, sacrifice you. If you've got children, they'll snatch your children and they'll suck your children into one of these cults. I know myself because they've sacrificed me, gang stalked me, and sucked my children into it. My ex and family, they've got Illuminati Secret Society coins. Again, Illuminati started off about Christ consciousness and being illuminate, and they've twisted that to fit their own agenda, which is performing satanic rituals, sex rituals on children, doing some sickening acts to children, raping, murdering them. That type of stuff, getting the children to start doing stuff to each other, forcing the children to start murdering, forcing the children to start murdering. They force the children to start murdering. They force the children to try and murder animals and stuff like that. They'll force the children to try and poison you. They'll start getting the children to start attacking you. The children's attitudes will start to change. Like my children's attitudes started to change. They started getting more gobby. You know, they started getting real disrespectful. They refused to wash their hair, brush their teeth, get a bath, simple things. They'd start arguments and stuff like this. And I'd want to like try and check their social media. I wanted to try and check their social media to see who they was talking to, yeah, and what have you, and then try and restrict them. But the more you try and put your foot down, especially if there's someone from social services and your family members are having a gang stalked, it's really hard to fight against it. They'll start doing stuff like conjuring up demons, demon magic, entities, stuff like this. So then basically the child or children start struggling to battle against entities, to start struggling, battling against demons. And well, that can cause suicidal tendencies, and children can often either take their own life or be murdered. There's something on YouTube. The horrific British cult hiding in plain sight for 30 years. Churches in the UK. So basically a lot of these churches, yeah, are cults. You go into these churches to find Jesus, and these people are actually devils in a meat suit who 36 don't have your best interests at heart. And what they've done, and I've had it done on me, because I performed an exorcism. As soon as you get on that government system that you've performed an exorcism or you've wrote music, that's it. You're going to have all these churches after you gang stalking, yeah? So even churches, yeah, are not what you believe they are. None of them, they're all Judas. None of them actually believe in Jesus because they've seen so many bad things happen, yeah? They've seen so many bad things happen that they'll start getting involved in doing all these sacrifices. They'll start recruiting children, do sex magic on the children, start getting the children to do some sick shit to each other, and then literally anyone who speaks his truth, brainwash. The church, that's brainwash in Britain. In London, it's a dangerous cult. But again, I've had God knows how many cults and covens, 37, coming up against me, doing it on me and my 4 children, gang stalking me, sending agents to me, constantly coming, at me from all angles. And as soon as you get mad and, give them a bit of gob, they'll report you for being nasty to them. And they'll be like, oh, you're being nasty to me now. You're being real nasty to me now, and you're speaking the truth, and you're giving us a bit back. We're not having it. We're going to start putting hits out on you. And this is what it is, because they want you to live in fear, right? And the more you are vibrating at that low frequency of fear, the more easy you are to keep dragging down into a low vibration. And they know exactly what they're doing because they're working for the devil. And that's what it is. They are working for the devil. Cults, primary school, right? So basically they'll have teachers who get inside of the schools, yeah, and they'll start doing the magic on the children, 38. They'll start doing the magic on the children. They'll obviously be linking to the local council, governments and stuff like that, yeah. Obviously start doing sex magic on those kids and stuff like that. And then away, obviously, oh, look, we're talking about sex today to a 5-year-old Ben. What they was doing with one of my daughters, my oldest one, probably the other ones as well, is they was pushing my daughter into a room and dragging her around into a room at school and talking to her about sex on her own. Right, and then the social worker, because they operate in social services, they'll send them talked about sex. So then you stand up, and you tell them to do one, fuck off, and get the fuck outside of my house and go concentrate on the paedophiles. They go off back to their cult and they do more black magic. 39, because like, well, I don't like it. Like, you've outed me and you told me to shut up and fuck off. But I'm going back to my cult now. This is like social services. I'm going to tell them what you said and all that. I'm going to lie, twist and manipulate it to get the cult curve and start doing a lot of black magic. Because that's all they do. And they're all just as nutty and mentally unstable as each other, yeah, because they all believe each other's lies. And because they all tell that many lies and they just want to win, they backstab each other as well. So they're working a large group to all team up and backstab that person, yeah, and gossip and slag that person off in like a bullying group cult, whatever. And then they'll all do the same to each other. They'll all try and set each other up. And basically, what type of a lifestyle is that? And there's Freemasons, Scientology, yeah, Templars, Knights Templars, Freemasonry. Any churches, there's a lot of them, who's all involved in performing satanic rituals. It's a cult because it's a culture. Some people do not survive. And then if the children have been through that, they can get really it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's more widespread than people think. But again, children are more easily complying throat chakra. Children comply more easily because obviously if there's a lot of 21 on the time clock where I am, and that's why they want the children to start doing their dirty work, and then these leaders they get them to do some horrible stuff. And like, that's it. Then they'll celebrate them. Or go poison somebody. Or go do all this, you know. And and they make some mad sacrifices. I don't mean like if you're thinking, I'm not going to drink for a bit or I'm not going to do this, that type of sacrifice. I mean, they will sacrifice children, they'll sacrifice animals. Anyone who's not inside of these cults, they will devalue anyone who is outside of these cults. The one who does not want to comply and go along with what they think is normal, which is some sick satanic rituals, black magic, and sacrificing people. Hypnosis. Hypnosis. So they can hypnotize. So basically, we all get some sort of spiritual gifts, right? And then in these cults and stuff, they just want to. I said they just want to practice throat chakra. They want to practice these gifts, but not for like good purposes. And obviously, if someone's spiritually attacking you, you've got every right to actually defend yourself. It's just like basically if someone comes at you, you can't expect you not to have that self-defense, right? And then what they'll start doing in these mad cults is they'll start trying to bind someone in spirit to stop them using the spiritual gifts so they cannot defend themselves. 44. It was 44. 3-3 when mentioned it. So he can use Archangel Raphael with his flaming sword of God to break any binding spells, soul ties, trauma bonding, throat chakra. There's been some real bad throat chakra magic done on somebody, so they can't speak out secrets in reverse because they don't want these secrets to be revealed because they don't want the cults or covens. And then it's one of them where they're like, look, you can't speak out about it. Day and night. Wit, cunning. Word witchery. Magic, yes. Day and night, they would do word witchery, hex and curses. Day and night, which is just like, if they were, like, yeah, if they go into a primary school and they're trying to recruit them, they do word witchery to the little kids and stuff like that. Yeah. And they'll use that to form a bond, right? The children. Social services with myself personally in the notes, yeah. The social worker, Jade Fennessy, was doing black magic on me and my kids. She put in the words, yeah, because she was doing word witchery and she tried to sacrifice me and my 4 children. Along with other people, she wanted a 40 grand cash bonus. She put in legal documentations, capital letters Lucifer, and then said she had a really strong bond with my children. And she didn't. She spent about 30-40 minutes, yeah. She didn't even barely speak to the children. She just spent 30-40 minutes coming to my house, staring at me, trying to piss me off. That ain't forming a strong bond with the children, yeah. No. Yeah, so they'll operate in social services, they'll be in his family, they operate in a council, in the local government, schools, doctors, nurses, politicians, police officers, law enforcement, lawyers, judges, solicitors, you name it. These mad buggers, like the Freemasons, are getting these positions and they'll be like, oh, manipulate my way in. I'm going to manipulate. Oh, I want to only get this qualification so I can manipulate. And that's all they do. And do you know what? When do they ever stop and think, you know what? Yeah, the nutty bars. And obviously, you know, especially like in the UK government, there's a lot of nutty bars running the UK government, the royals and stuff. They all do some dark occult practices. They all do that. They get secret services, secret society, illegal protection to carry on doing the hunting, the gang stalking, doing some sick shit to children, yeah, doing some sick shit to animals because they're sick. And for some strange reason, yeah, they've not been told off enough. And because some of these nutty bars, especially the royals, because they are nutty bars, they've got that much money because they're robbing and stealing off everybody. Their heads is gone. They get that much security. Their head goes even more. You know what I'm saying? Because the royals are some of the nuttiest people in the UK to ever walk planet Earth. Honestly, I swear to God on the Holy Bible, the royals are some of the most nuttiest people to ever touch down on planet Earth. And the people who work in the UK government, some of the biggest, nuttiest bars going in the world. Then they'll be like, oh yeah, come and join the army, come and be a nutty bar. And then the army, they recruit young army people, yeah, military, navy, you know, the Marines. They will do that. They recruit, come serve and protect your country. That's a lot of bollocks. They're just training them to be a set of nutty bars and do a lot of black magic. Come and sign up to the police and be a police cadet. That's a lie, yeah? Because they just start doing black magic on these kids. nutty barbars, obviously. They do Boy Scouts and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll just start grooming nutty barbar on them. They'll do black magic on them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Choir boys. Come and join this choir, little boys. You know. And then basically, they'll be doing choir boys, churching, yeah, going to church, come to the church, be a choir boy. The little boys will go there singing, you know, with a real nice little singing voice. And then, well, the one who's teaching them is a fucking pedo. The one who's teaching them is a paedophile. The one who's teaching them is a paedophile, grooming them. And then they do this sick stuff inside of a church. Well, then, that will then, yeah, stop these little boys from believing in Jesus Christ. And that will then stop them from believing in Jesus Christ, shut off from God, have their innocence taken. And because the UK government are actually involved, and the USA government, and obviously a lot of the government involved in that, because it's infiltrated, they fail to shut it down because they think it's hilarious. And they all get in this so-called powerful position, yet none of them have the strength to shut this type of stuff down. You know, they could all work in a group and dismantle this with Archangel Michael. And every time I speak out about it and say it needs to be dismantled under Archangel Michael, under the Most High, I get spiritually attacked and sacrificed and a shit ton of black magic done on me. And then I get mad. Got Jesus, what's going out? Jesus Christ is King. So I rebuke the plans of the devil in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Anyone can pray to Jesus Christ. You don't need to join a cult or a coven to pray to Jesus Christ. You can bring Jesus into your home and into your life by praying, having maybe a Jesus cross on the wall, a picture of Jesus. You can go to these churches to try and find Jesus, some pope or a priest or something. And a lot of them, when they put their hand up in the air and have their eyes closed and say, Father, yada, 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 they are praying to the Father, the Most High Father. They're praying to the Father of lies, which is Lucifer. Yeah, I've been there. Went to a church in 2022. First time in years. Because I wanted to see the pictures of the angels. And then after he put the hand down and I went off, that was just a load more demons coming for me. And that's all it is. They just conjure up demons when they should be slaying the demons and condemning the demons in hell in the name of Jesus Christ. Because, well, people's already got their own, enough of their own personal demons to slay. It is 5 to 20. Binoculars. Oh, we've got a helicopter. So even RAF and stuff like that. Wi-Fi. They'll start looking in. Binoculars. Family. Death spells. They do a lot of death spells. Insurance scam. 5 to 10. So basically they'll do death spells on the children. Yeah. Then they're involved in doing insurance scams. So if they do death spells and they kill the children off, they will literally get them 53. Do insurance scams on their own children. Freemasons, a lot of these Masons, yeah, they're actually involved in sacrificing their own children, yeah, for money. Who would do that? Again, they've been involved in literally gang stalking, family, friends, God knows how many different cults and covens coming up against one person. How many groups and gangs coming up against one person to sacrifice me for all I've got, physical and children, physical wealth, spiritual wealth, there's children and the soul purposes as well. lost souls, abduction. It's a deluded team. Watch for your camera. Shocking. It's shocking. Watch through your camera, and then they will project a lot of harmful rays. So basically, on your phone camera, and they'll do it to the children, is they'll start looking and watching through your phone camera. Your phone camera, they can hack into anybody's phone camera, anyone's phone camera. Then they can start watching through the little camera button, your children on the phone. Yeah, they can hack into your Google accounts. Yeah, anything you say, anything, anything, anything. It all, literally, anything you say, anything you do. So basically, if you have any like business ideas or still that, they'll reproduce it as their own. Reproduce it as their own. Five. And because the adults recruit the children's heads become manipulated at such a young age to commit like murder and stuff like this and poison people at such a young age. Which is really distressing. Really distressing. They do energy harvesting, binding spells, spiritual attack. So basically, if there's like 100 people or 200 people in a cult who all target and zone in on one person, or thousands of people, yeah, they all think it's funny, like hyenas with a piece of meat, where they'll all just go in, yeah. They'll all just go in, these hyenas, like on a piece of meat, and we'll all just ravishy. And then if that one person stands up and fights against every single one of them, yeah, and stands his ground, that person who fights against them, yeah, who stands the ground, they don't like it. That's why they do it. Oh, I can't even believe it. I just can't even believe it. But, well, I suppose it is. It's what goes on. And because people always see the bad, or maybe suffer like a lot of injustice over and over again, they want to, like, literally in a group or in a gang, just keep doing it because it makes them feel good. But again, if you stand up against these people and you give them what for, and you out them and you have a go and you just give a bit of that God back to them, they don't like that. They'll get you shut down like they have done me. You know, call me all the names, and as soon as you call them a few names back, they're like, I'm in the police, man. She's called me something back. I've only started having a go at her, calling her this, that, and the other. Now she's calling me something back, and we call her nasty. I mean, I've called her about 10 names in a row, and I've chatted a lot of shit and everything, but she did reply and what I'd pathetic. They're pathetic. And 58, this is why they're using and recruiting children, yeah? So they can be like, look, the children could do anything. The children can poison you. The children can rob from you. The children can steal. The children can lie. And as soon as you stand up and tell one of the children off, they're like, nah, we're not having that. We're going to put the children with a paedophile or a murderer or a child rapist, the one who's been grooming them and stuff like that, manipulating them. Yeah, because that's what's fucking best. So the police officers are just as nutty barbar, yeah, But are you actually surprised if the police officers and the teachers are just as nutty bye as each other? Because they're all involved in that shit. They're like, well, we've got this teacher here, and she was flirting with me, and she said this. So because she was flirting with me, and she said this, I just couldn't help it. Cock started twitching and stuff like that because she was flirting with me. Of course she was. They used these toxic nurses and stuff like that. And the police officer like, she had the tits out to me. And I believed every single word she said. She was coming on to me. She started doing sexual favours. Of course, yeah. It's just rituals. It's rituals. Go back to a sex cult, and then they will literally recruit the kids. And the teachers know that they'll be involved, family members, which is absolutely putrid. And then you go to court about it, yeah, and they'll start sticking the tongues at one of the judges' arseholes. The judge will be like, look, he's proper tonguing my arsehole, aren't you, love? He's proper tonguing me like fuck, aren't you? Up arse and that. Oh, go on then. We'll let you get away with it, you toxic person. You know. And if they know where you live, your address, yeah, then they're gonna always send black magic towards your home, yeah. If the police are involved in it, which they are, they'll just have police swirling around local area trying to get inside of that energy in close proximity, right? Because the police are involved in this type of stuff. They will get in close proximity to your home, and they will sit there in a police van or a police car doing the magic, doing the weird ritual in this police car and stuff, and aiming it all towards your home. Or they get someone parking outside of your home, yeah, projecting a lot of like negative energy and doing the black magic and stuff like that. They're poorly. They're really poorly. So I think we might need some more mental institutes and stuff for these type of people, because they're all demonically possessed. And again, doing black magic, demon magic, it's not going to help the person who they're doing it on, obviously, which is not what they're wanting. And it's 100% most certainly not going to help themselves, because it's all going to bounce back and they've generated a lot more bad karma. And then again, there's children who have to pay that off. Then their children's got to pay that off, yeah? And then basically, the children could not be doing anything bad. And then bad things will start happening to the children. And they'll be like, well, why do I deserve all this? Like, with the way my childhood was, I always kept thinking, why do I deserve all this? But if you look at my mother and you look at my father and all the bad things, what they've done, it's their karma whamming and smacking me, yeah? And then because my own father's still not stopped with doing all this satanic rituals and this demonic, low vibrational stuff with him and his pals and family members and in his group and his cult and what have you, and my family on both sides and my ex's family all join into it. Now my kids are going to have a lot of karma, and my family and other people's family and stuff like this have done hex and curse on me and my own children, because they want to curse the full bloodline and the full, like literally generations and generations and generations to come, all out of spite, all out of jealousy, all out of like, I don't like it, you stood on up and you've had a go at us and we've been slagging you off for years and that type of shit. So people are just pathetic, where they just do it in groups and gangs, and then all they do is use these children. Oh, look at her being his being what have you. Well, we've got gobby about this person, and this person finally stood up to us. So then we're going to start recruiting the kids and that, get your pals involved and that, and then start targeting the kids, because the adults are putrid. The adults are putrid. The adults are putrid. Dodgy lawyer, of course they will. They might as well. They might as well get a dodgy lawyer. They'll start seducing the lawyer with lies. They'll suck the lawyers off. or solicitors and stuff like that. Start flirting with them. Do some sex magic. You know, the lawyer will be like, oh, look, they seduced me with a load of lies. We've got motorcycle clubs, so it could be linking to a motorcycle club. They'll start seducing them with lies and that, like, oh, look, you know, if it's a lawyer or solicitor who's into, like, the guys on the motorcycle, but like, oh, look at this guy, he's come towards me, he's real fit and all that. He's just started flirting with me. And oh, go on then, she'll let us get off or what I do, and the slammer and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, that is what they'll do. They'll start going, love you, you're gorgeous, you're absolutely stunning. Then they'll be like, slam that person, let them get away with it. And I'm just thinking, hey, it's just literally boring. I'm so glad I'm staying single. Black magic backfired times 100,000. Toxic. Something linking to offshore accounts. Rates going down. They just think that's it. This is why I'm staying single. I am staying single. I'm staying single forever. I am staying single forever. There's too much corruption. We've got a corrupt judge. Why not? I mean, again, that is sarcasm. But why not? Why not? Why not? This is where the Freemasons coming in. Dodgy lawyers, dodgy judges, dodgy watch. Getting that so-called leader power position. Instead of bringing justice, just because someone's flirting with them. Flirt for flirt. You're like, oh, that's totally fine. You flirt for flirt. Probably sling a bit of sex magic at them or something like that. I will give you some money under the table. So yeah, it's just enough to cause depression, anxiety, panic attacks, post-traumatic stress, the lot, which is just a lovely, corrupt world to be born into, which again is sarcasm. It can be lovely, you know, but obviously prayer will help to the Most High to break these hexes and curses. Because even your neighbours who don't like you, they'll start buggering off to someone who does fucking black magic and shit like this. You know, they're like, oh, I don't really like him, alright. Let's do some black magic. And they're just pathetic. Honestly, it's a pathetic world. It's a pathetic society.